Good morning, guys. This morning we are going to amplify a kind of economic subject, very essential, very vital, paramount subject, pointing out the obligation of every business, whether business is micro or macro, whether it is private, public, or PPP, whether it's local, global, or global, whatever the size, whatever the shape of the business. But every businessman, every business has four fundamental obligations to meet. Without these four fundamental, that business does not meet, then the business obligations are not fulfilled. These obligations are actually affiliated with social upliftment, consumer upliftment, and national upliftment. These obligations are met for the purpose of turning the society better, like American society or European society. If businessmen or businesses are not going to meet these four obligations, they are not going to make a dent in the society. They are going to become fatter and fatter, richer and richer, but at the cost of the society. Society is going to remain poorer and poorer. Like Adam Smith has said, one rich person makes lots of people poor. One company that makes, say for example, 5,000 crore rupees of profit per annum, these 5,000 crore rupees are drained out of the pocket of the consumers. The company did not go anywhere else to make it. Company went to the consumers to sell the goods at the outrageous price and made outrageous profits and made outrageous amount of wealth. But in the process, millions of people are going to lose every penny they have, making the companies super rich, fat cat. These four obligations are: number one, pandering and generating the needs of the society by boosting the consumerism. Business does not just pander your need or fulfill your needs, but it creates needs too. It has to create the needs. New needs are not created, then the old needs are fulfilled, then where the company is going to sell is the product. Products are all sold. Every single thing is consumed by the consumer. And there is nothing more to consume. That is why new cars are coming out, new beverages are coming out, new movies are coming out, new clothes are coming out, new fashions are coming out, so that people keep on buying and buying and buying. Known as Kaizen, innovative concept in economy. If you are not going to improve your product, if you are not going to diversify your product, then your product is definitely going to die down. People will say, I have that thing, I have that car, I have that kind of furniture, I have that kind of clothes, I have that kind of watch. Unless and until you are not going to produce anything better, then and then your products are going to move. You have to go for the occasion, you have to go for the innovative concept. Unless you go for innovative concept, your product is definitely going to fizzle out from the society. So, meet the needs of the society by providing whatever they need. Produce all kinds of stuff that society needs. Like for the last couple of years, we needed sanitizers, we needed masks, we needed vaccine, we needed different kind of medicine, we needed oxygen. Every single thing we needed, and the companies were there to provide us. Think if the companies were not there to provide all those things, where we would have gone. Point number two, creating lucrative employment for all and sundry to rope, bread and butter. All the startups and repeaters in the society who are looking for a job. Millions of students, millions of graduates and postgraduates emerging out of the college and universities, first thing they look is job. If companies are not going to create the jobs, where they are going to get the jobs at? There is no other place to go to get a job. So it is the company, it is the corporate world which actually creates all kinds of jobs, white collar jobs, blue collar, pink collar, fourth category job, all kinds of jobs. For literate people, illiterate people, for skilled people, semi-skilled people, unskilled people. If they don't create jobs, their obligation is not fulfilled. So second obligation is to create lucrative job. Lucrative job means a person can actually feed his family of 2 or 3. Point number 3 is prospering the society by CSR and plowback of part of their profits. Dr. Singh used to say, a frog must not drink up all the water of the well. It is originally said by some American MIT professor, I forgot the name, but Manmohan Singh liked to repeat this adage every single time, very frequently, that if the frog is going to drink up all the water of the well, then where it is going to go and live? Meaning, companies coming to India, for example, or Indian company going to foreign lands, if they are going to scoop up every single thing from the society and don't give back anything to the society in the form of CSR or plowback profit, then that society is going to become absolutely drained, bone dry society. Now you can understand, if society is poor, how businesses can be rich. That is why all the businesses go into the rich nations. They don't go to Afghanistan, they don't go to Syria, they don't go to Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, because there is nothing. They don't come, big, huge businesses don't come to Junagadh, they are not going to go to Keshod, or they are not going to go to any small Minneapolis or villages. Because over there, demography is very small, people's earning and saving very small. That is why huge businesses will come to India from foreign countries and settle in Delhi, Mumbai, Madras, Aurangabad, Hyderabad, Pune. These kind of places they are going to choose over there. People have purchasability. People have purchasing power. So they are going to actually start a business in those places where people have money, and they make the society even richer by CSR and plowback of profit. Think about American society. Americans are so rich. I mean, working American class is so rich because they work for the companies, and the company actually provide them lucrative living wage salary. They provide them 3 to 4 times greater salary than they need. That is why they can save. They can save for second car, third car, second home, third home. They can save for traveling. They can save for all kinds of luxury. And even Indian guys go over there, they come back after 10 years, they are filthy rich. They come back with 10, 20 crore rupees because over there, whatever you earn is much less than you need. And around 50% would be your saving. This is how companies actually turn the society into prosperity from poverty. Point number 4, paying due taxes credibly, incredibly, with integrity and faithfully, so that government can be able to govern the nation. Now, if the companies are not going to pay taxes to the government, like allegedly American IRS has actually leveled the charges against Trump, that Trump did not pay taxes for last 8 to 10 years. Now, if the companies actually go for that route, if they don't pay taxes, then how the government can be able to operate the government, operate the nation, where the government is going to get the funds, resources to spend on all kinds of infrastructure building, all kinds of education, school building, all kinds of defense and the protection, hospital building, and all sorts of things. How the government is going to be able to govern the nation? Direct taxes, like income tax. We don't pay that much in income tax to the government. The Indian government can have around 20 lakh crore rupees to govern the nation. 20 lakh crore. That is not a piece of cake or cup of tea. But this much money people cannot pay out of their paycheck. So government has to depend upon the companies. Like Reliance company paid about 5,000 crore rupees taxes last year. So we have this kind of Reliance type of 417 companies are there, MNCs we call them. They all pay that much and the government can have 20 lakh crore rupees to spend on the nation to govern it. So remember, these are the four most important. I'm not saying this is not from GA. This is from the World Economics. World Economics and the forum like World Economic Forum and all those people like Pascal Lamy, and Pascal Lamy is the head of the World Economic Forum. These kind of people have actually formed this thing, and this is accepted globally, that there are four fundamental obligations. Thank you very much for listening. See you again next time. Until then, God bless everyone on this planet. Bye. Amen.